All right. Sorry to those of you who have very high definition displays right now, but I'm going to get in close. So here we go. You got to deal with what's coming at you. But I want you to focus on these eyes. I want you to focus on these eyes. These eyes are tired, man. They are tired and they have cried a lot of tears. Probably more tears than I ever expected was humanly possible. I feel like I can't hydrate enough because that water just keeps flowing from these eyeballs. I don't tell you that to have you feel sorry for me. I actually tell you that because I want you to hear the process that I've undergone here, probably in the last month. It started slowly before that, but definitely in the last month for me, and it probably coincides with a lot of the last times that I've talked to you guys like this, because it's been a while. But I'm going to tell you this: I have been very, very humbled in the last month. Mr. Ryan, what does that mean? You've been humbled. Were you a cocky, arrogant dude before that? No, not like that. I've been humbled in the sense that I really, well, I'll tell you this. When I was young, and even now, I would look at a lot of people in my life and people that I would perceive as, man, they figured it all out. They solved life. Like they got all of the answers to every question. They've dealt with every emotion and mastered that. They got all the money and resources, and their relationships are perfect, and they don't have any conflict going on in their head. And so, bravo to that person. I want to be like that person because they have it all together, quote unquote. That person doesn't exist. And if they do, they have yet to be humbled in a way that all of us should be humbled because no matter who we are, where we are, what we're doing, what our job is, what our experiences are, we're all healing or helping others heal from something because all of us have endured hardship, and there's no question about that. I I have been very, very humbled lately because I've been through a lot in my life. You guys know my story. You've followed me and you've listened to me. I go over and over and over a lot of the challenges that I've faced in life. And because of that, in my heart and in my mind, I've told you, man, this is the way. This is the way to do it. This is the way. Some of what I'm saying, definitely, I believe to my core and I can't let go of that. But I will say this: there have been other areas and things that have happened to me recently, and a lot has been due to you all teaching me that have shown me that, bro, if you think that you're close to figuring it all out and you think that what you're saying is the absolute truth, it might not apply to everybody. Humbling, very humbling, because, you know, my heart is has good intentions and my mind has good intentions and I want to help people, but that's not the prescription for every person. And I've had to been humbled in that way to understand that no matter how good my intentions are, it might not be everybody's quote unquote cup of tea. So I want to tell you, I want to give you a couple few examples because um, you know, I got to the point in my life where as a father, as a husband, as a employer, an employee, and a community member, and all the things, I thought I had a pretty decent handle on where I was going to be here and here for the rest of my days. Right? I was almost to the point of going, "Hey, man, you did it. You reached the finish line. You crossed the answer to life." And then life came back and said, "Bro, you got a lot to learn." And I'm so grateful for that. I'm going to try not to get emotional, but you guys know me. Um, I'm going to tell you a couple few things about how I've been humbled and how I'm grateful for that. There's been a message that's come across, whether it's been in writing to me or on the phone or through text or whatever, and it's always been the same version of you need to humble before you heal. And I didn't get that at first. I didn't understand how that applied to me because I'm a humble dude. Like, if you tell me I'm wrong, I used to think, well, I would listen to that and go, all right, well then help me understand why. But yeah, I'd listen to you. But then I'd go and I'd say, well, yeah, but man, you feel this way and you feel like this is the way to help people. So, all right, you appreciate their input, but like, dude, you got it. You got this, man. You figured out life. Good job. I'm getting a lot of phone calls from prisons and jails right now from you all. And when I say you all, I say you all who have been with me throughout my career, whether it be here or whether it be in other places that I've been over the past 20 years. And I'm hearing the same things, and those things are, I wish I would have listened to the people that were telling me and giving me advice and telling me, how to do what was best in the situation. I wish I would have taken advantage of all the help that was available to me. And, when I get out of here, I've learned the lesson that I need, and I'm going to do better. Time will tell on that third one, and that's fine, right? We need to prove it. But the other two things that I'm hearing, those two themes, hopefully are messages of, man, I thought I knew the way, and now that I've had time to sit here and think about it, I've been humbled. So it's time to heal, and it's time to learn. And that is what healing is in this message that I have for you guys, is it's learning, and I'm learning. And I'm listening to so many of you, and my heart's breaking so bad because, I wasn't in prison or jail, but I did feel like it for a long time. And so now I'm going back and I'm examining how many people reached out to me over that time and tried to rattle my cage and be like, dude, like, listen, man, I'll help you out if you just like slow down and stop thinking that you have all the answers. You don't have to sleep outside. You don't have to sleep in your car. You don't have to sleep in different buildings across Saginaw County. I have help for you. Just slow down and listen, and don't think that you have to shoulder it all yourself. I'm thinking about that. And I'm also being humbled. You guys know a lot about my story, those of you that have heard my message in one form or another. And, I used to be driven so much by resentment and anger and like this polar opposite feeling of, this is what happened to me, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to tell you what I've learned over time from some of you, but also in my own reflections as far as it applies to my situation, is that generational trauma and being caught in cycles, that's a powerful thing. And until you realize that that's something that has happened to you, that you may be in that, and that you have to do a lot of work, to break out of that. You might be caught in a what you think is the right pattern of thinking, and that's going to be your mantra for the rest of your life. Just take a second to listen, please, to what I'm saying and understand the personal evolution that I'm going through, because it is rough. It is rough. So my dad passed away Thanksgiving 2017. And when he died, I got a phone call from my uncle about 2 hours before he died. My dad died in the city of Bay City, and I was standing in my office at the homeless shelter that I started and ran for 3 years in Mount Pleasant. And the message is that, hey, if you want to get here and make things right before he passes, that you have about 2 hours to do it, maybe. And I was so caught up in anger and resentment and that motivation to show through my actions that I had figured it out, that I hung the phone up and said, I'm good, I'm going to stay where I'm at. And I was justified in that decision then, but I want to tell you, I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure if that was the right direction to take. And it's because I do recognize, and I have for a long time, here's the irony, I recognize how you can love something so much, sometimes more than anything in the world, something or someone, hopefully someone. But yet you can still make decisions that either directly or indirectly hurt them. And I think that's what I endured for a lot of years, was my dad loved me more than anything in the world. But he didn't know better. He never humbled himself to listen and learn. And so he made a lot of decisions that affected my life, obviously, to a tremendous degree. And I chose for 25 years not to listen to any form of apology, if there was going to be one. I chose to delete voicemails. I chose to decline invites. I chose to essentially turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to somebody who might have been trying to explain to me I didn't know better. And now I'm finally seeing the errors of my ways. I've been humbled. And he died with me not giving him that opportunity to even try to explain. And so now that's something I live with. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I don't want you to get caught in the same feelings and the same confidence that you're the victim, and because of that, you can't go back and understand why that person put you through, or those people, or the whoever it was in your life put you through the things. Take time. Take time to understand the process. Take time to understand how they could love you, but also make mistakes and go through processes that hurt you. And you have every right to feel hurt. I'm not saying you have to give up your feelings, because I haven't given up the fact that I got hurt. My whole life was affected to an insane degree. And I was traumatized to a tremendous amount of areas that it took a long time for me to even scratch the surface and figure out. But sitting before you today, I want to tell you that I'm in the process of completely evolving as a man in every area of my life, because I've been humbled. You guys have helped me see that. You guys have opened up the door. People in my personal life have helped open up the door. In my professional life have helped prompt me to the point where I got to sit down and think about some things and think about what my motivation is, and where I've went wrong too. And that's heavy. It's heavy to admit when you went wrong, but I can tell you all of us have. It's okay though. It's okay to say you're wrong. You have to humble yourself before you heal yourself. And that's it. I rambled, but I didn't know how else to get this out to you guys. And I'm here to talk. If you're going through a similar process, I want to share with you what I'm learning, and I want to hear what you're learning at the same time, because really part of humbling yourself is learning from others and doing the work. Man, I keep this quote up here. I usually change this quote, but nothing works unless you do is like that's my motto of the past couple years, and I've got a lot of work to do, and that's okay. So do you. But let's do it together. But the important point is, let's do the work, because you cannot allow yourself to stop. You can't think that you have it all figured out, and you can't allow yourself to think that it's not worth figuring out. It very much is. It's hard. It's very, very exhausting. I mean, these eyes, again, I'm tired, but I'm doing the work, and I hope you join me. And I hope we continue to break cycles together. I love you guys.